Good evening, everybody. Welcome along. It is Sunday night and it is showtime. Yes, welcome back to the Hair Show. And you know it, this is a show where we are going to be talking about the big topics in the hair industry. And we want you to be part of the show. Yes, it's your voice that makes the show for everyday hairdressers. And it's dead simple. You all know the process now, don't you? To get in the conversations, you just need to get in the comments because I can see your comments coming down here. Yes, I can see all your comments. And it is, honestly, you that brings the voice to this show. It's where we kind of get topics going around the hair industry. And who knows where it's going to go. We start off with saying, can they always go completely off piece? But if I can't see your name, it's because I guess you're watching in the How to Cut It Facebook group. Now, just to quickly explain, so all I'm seeing in my comments, so when you're seeing me look down here, I'm looking at all your comments. Let's just go in here. You'll see Facebook user. So I know that you can all see Facebook user, but I can't. And that's purely because How to Cut It group is private and Ecamm needs to grant your permission. So I think Dave Bell is going to be maybe putting the link into the comments or you'll find it in the show description. You just need to click on that link to grant Ecamm permission so we can just literally flag up your name and face and we know who we're talking to. If you're watching on my profile or you're watching on YouTube and we're going into LinkedIn as well tonight, you don't have to worry about any of that because I can see all your names. And look, we are now bringing you the Hair Show live fortnightly on Sundays. Yes, here we are, 8 p.m. And for all the regulars of you, you will know we've been doing this on Monday nights. But we had such a great time a couple of weeks back with Colette on the show. And I know Colette's in the show comments here tonight. I see what she's posting in there. But it was great. We had really good feedback. And we do believe that Sunday nights are a great time for us all to sit back and relax. I'd love to know where you're all just watching this from, but you sit back and relax. And I think it does suit the Hair Show. I think it's perfect for that. And we follow, I believe, Andrew Dunn's incredible Sunday service, which he does at 6 o'clock. So it's a night for us all really to hang out and have a great time. So do you like the new time slot? Let us know in the comments. So look, let's have a little peep. Who's joining us? Well, as I said, Colette was first in with the comments tonight. Congratulations, Colette. How you doing? Colette, we got here, Facebook user. We got Janet. How you, Janet, from Pivot Point. Scrolling down. Again, I won't keep putting up Facebook users because I can't see who I'm talking to, but I've got Angela here. How you doing, Angela? Many regulars. Let's go right down. We've got Jacqueline here. How you doing, Jax? Nice to see you along. Who else? We've got Donna here, a platformer. How you doing, Donna and Jax, both platformers. We have Raymond here. How you doing, Raymond? In the garden you're watching. Great stuff. Let's have a little peek. Where else we got? So come on, Facebook users. We need to just grant that permission. So Dave, if you can, put the link into the comments just so we can see who's who and watching there. We got, what's this here? What do I read here? I'm chilling out in bed. I got absolutely soaked walking home from the salon today. Reveal yourself. I don't know who that is. And you know, look, we've got a good friend in here, my good buddy Paul. How you doing, Paul? Nice to have you along. And here, the most special person watching the show tonight, everybody. I want you to give your love to her. Janice Wood. My mother. Yes, good to see you along, mother. Yes, mum, a former hairdresser herself and still doing hair to this day. So make her feel very special. And look, we've even got my good buddy here, my ex-partner in crime of football. I was just talking to the girls earlier, Lee, that I'm no longer doing football coaching, but I never done that. I just sort of winged it along with you. But good to have you along, Lee. Nice to see you there, mate. We need that beer. Obviously, you're going to have to be careful on the San Miguel's on the Sunday now. We got yeah, look, there's the link, everybody, so just press that link if you're watching in the How to Cut It group. Right, topics, what have we got coming up tonight? Let's have a little peep. So this is what we're going to be covering. First up, this can be interesting, the hair salon industry in crisis. And we use that word because we are seeing many salons closing down at an alarming rate Is there something happening that we need to be worried about? Is there something we need to do to stop this happening? What's your thoughts on that? I'm going to be really interested to hear the conversations on this. Then we're going into this topic. I think this one's going to be fun to talk about because Saturday shutdown, is it still going strong? Because we came out of COVID. There was a lot of talk about salons no longer being busy on Saturdays. We'll close it, 4-day week. Yeah. Let's hear your thoughts on that. Get thinking about what you'd like to share. This one, is British hairdressing still relevant? Yeah, we've seen the rise on social, haven't we? The Americans, hairbrain, behind the chair, really looking dynamic and edgy. Is British hairdressing just becoming a little bit safe, a bit stuffy? Right, and this is our new feature that we're going to be doing for the hair show. And this one is the last topic. And we want you to decide what's going to be our last topic for the segment at the end of the show tonight. Okay, is there a topic that you would like us to discuss? Start putting it in the comments, and all you need to do, if you've got a topic that you'd like us to discuss, just put hashtag topic and then your conversations. So that is where we are going with tonight's show. Does that all sound good? Give us some love hearts. We want to see all the love coming in from you all, our lovely community. So now I'm going to bring onto our screens our delightful co-hosts. Yes, my regular co-host from day one, Georgia Bell, and she was on our show about 4 weeks ago, Vikki Mackinder. How you doing, the pair of you?
Hello.
Nice
Hello,
to see
everyone.
you. To see you nice. Both looking good.
Thank you very much, Dom.
Not so bad yourself, Dom?
Well, you know, I haven't got a lot of hair work to work on, so I don't know. What can I work on? Anyway, but
Looks shiny, nice and shiny.
Well, I just work on the background drops, so I'll take that. That's my thing.
The background looks very good as well.
Yeah, I can work on that. So, what do you think to New Sundays, George? I mean, you've been here from day one. I mean, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I like Sundays. I think, even though traditionally salons are shut on a Monday, I think, it's just a nice end to a Sunday movie. Sunday evening. There's nothing on telly at the moment, so you guys may as well be here watching us lot and debating with us and talking the topics, aren't you?
Yeah. What about you, Vikki? Are you liking the Sunday vibe?
Yeah, I like it. I think weekends are always good for, especially the Sunday night, aren't they? We can just chill out, get ready for what's going on the next few days, and we're in a bit of a scrolly mood, so we're there watching, aren't we?
We are. I'm just seeing everybody coming into the show now. It's brilliant. And just to let you know, I'm going to keep up with the comments as much as I can. There is that 20-second delay, so there can be a delay with the comments. So, yeah, I'll be scrolling through. I can see there's a lot of love going to my mum. Hey, Rachel, by the way. Nice to see you. Rachel's just joined the platform. We're How to Cut It. Love to have you along, Rachel. Hi, Dom's mum. Yeah, she's been watching the show. Really good. And she always gives me the rundown, George. Vikki at the end. She tells me what she thinks, and she did like you, Vikki. I have to say, she liked Vikki. She thought she was very good.
Well, I'll take that as an honour then.
Believe me, she's a Simon Cowell. So come on, I just want to share something. I was going to ask sort of what's the best thing that's happened to you this week, but I'm going to ask you, Vikki, because you had a bit of a thing going on today, didn't you?
I did indeed. So today and tomorrow I'm running a 2-day course on teaching how to cut hair curl by curl, which is the technique that I use in the salon. And I had 3 students who were coming to join me and had paid the price. And one of them had asked me if I could cut her hair the day before. So she booked in and I did her hair yesterday afternoon. And within about 10 minutes of a bit of a consultation, I started moving on to the topic of the course over the next few days. And I established very quickly that this lady was not a hairdresser. She has done a styling course with another salon in Leeds, and they had certified her in, I presume, styling, but I don't think from a hairdresser's point of view. And she had reached out to me a few months ago to ask if I was doing any cutting courses. And I said, yes, these are the dates, 16th, 17th of July. And she was not a hairdresser, and she was hoping to be able to join the course and learn the techniques over the 2 days and start a new career in hairdressing and focusing more on textured hair. And that sent a lot of questions my way, really, and how do I handle this? As I was in the beginning of her haircut, and she has a place on the course over the next 2 days. So I was a bit baffled at first, and then thought, how can I make this work? And then I really needed to take a step back, and me and my partner, we assessed the situation. We considered from an insurance perspective, from a refund point of view, is there anything I can offer her at her level? But then it would be to minimize the experience of the other two students, because this lady would have needed me to have supported her so heavily throughout the 2 days that I wouldn't have been able to give my all to the other two students that would have actually been able to use the technique immediately. So we threw a few options her way, but in the end we both agreed that for her to not join the course and for me to give her a partial refund and all the best in the future. So I was gobsmacked, really, and I was questioning whether actually, is this me? Is this the way I've advertised it? Have I misworded something? But no.
Just is this a
people,
problem?
do you know what?
Maybe
People are just strange. People are just strange, aren't they? Even though this is different, if I put out for an assistant or I put out for a member of staff, you wouldn't believe the amount of inboxes I've had off people on Facebook or social media that have said, I'm interested in the position. And I said, are you doing a hairdressing course? No.
Yeah.
I'm a fast learner. Like, what the fuck, bro? Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like,
£1.
So strange.
£1, Tony.
Sorry, Tony.
Tony's, he's not here yet, but yeah, we've got a swear jar for every time that George swears.
It's just bizarre, isn't it? And it's just that people think that actually with such a creative trade that you would be able. I mean, what is this woman's mentality that she thought that she could do? I've done your courses, right? And they're intricate. They're hard work. They're not built for a beginner hairdresser. They're built for somebody that already knows how to cut hair. So.
Yeah.
What do people think, that they can just come and spend 2 days with you and then boom, that's it? You're
a
hairdresser.
And that
it's crazy.
And I was just saying earlier on, wasn't I, guys, that can I make this work? Well, actually, all I need to do is say, so let's start building up our graduation through the back. She would stumble straight at that. Yeah, and so I recommended, that she obviously gets herself a qualification, and then maybe we, catch up in a year after she's qualified and see where she's at.
Well, there's no such queer as folk, is there?
We've got Justin. Hello, Justin. Good to have you along. Yeah, well handled, Vicky. Colette mentioned this. She said, everyone thinks hairdressing is so easy. Well done, Vicky. Donna, she said, thank you for keeping our standards. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of people sort of on side with what you said. Somebody, again, Facebook user, I'm sorry I can't see your name or face, just need to grant permission. No way a non-hairdresser could have done Vicky's course.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. What's Pauline said here? This is, hey, Pauline. Do you think when professionals offering courses should ask candidates for insurance details before joining them? No qualifications means no insurance.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But I mean, that is a good idea. And I think all the things that happen, we talked about this, didn't we, Vicky? We learn in hindsight.
Yeah.
It's the first time something like this has happened to you, so therefore you'll change it accordingly moving forward.
Yeah. I'll now obviously say, hairdressers, qualified hairdressers only. But again, the insurance point of view is also relevant, because are they then going to be advertising our name, and then we're going to find out that actually they've learned on the salon floor without an NVQ and then taken on this technique, and hopefully nothing bad happens. But if it does, where do they both stand? Where do the stylist and the student stand?
I think it's a topic to come back to for a future show, for sure. I think we could dive into it. We've almost gone into that sort of first topic. But look, let's go to our first topic of the night. And again, I want you all to get involved in this. Bring your thoughts, ideas to this. I see some good comments still coming into what you're sharing. Right, first topic. Okay, why are so many salons closing? Are we in a crisis? And this was inspired, actually, we saw a post on social of a leading salon that's closing their doors. I don't quite know the reason. Could be just they're moving on, but it does seem to be following a trend, George, that we're seeing a lot of salons that are closing. Do you have any thoughts to this?
I mean, I think it is just, it's a sign of the times, isn't it? Like business. I remember a pretty big hairdresser saying to me, "Do you know what? The cream of the crop will rise." But here's the thing of that. You see so many other salons that are just popping up, right, that don't necessarily have qualifications, that don't do everything by the book, that take cash only, that do walk-in services. And
Mm,
these are the ones that actually seem to be thriving because they're not paying the insurance, they're not paying the tax, they're not doing everything. I mean, some are, but there's a lot of people that are just doing cash services that are just getting by. So I don't know. Is doing everything by the book
Yeah,
paying off?
yeah.
I don't know. That's my point of view.
What's your thoughts on it, Vicky?
yeah. So I think obviously we've got to take into consideration, where we're at with what we've all just been through over the last few years, and there's going to be a knock-on effect from that. And a lot of people ended up having to pay out, didn't they? And they're recovering those costs, the cost of furlough and everything that the salon owners went through. And, George, you're literally at the beginning now of seeing the difference between being a salon owner with employed staff and what you were earning at that point to what you're now, where you're at now.
Mm.
And if
Mm.
you'd have continued down the road that you were on, then actually would your doors have closed, or would you have taken on a smaller premises? Because it was tough, the overheads, the cost of living with the gas and electric, and even fuel, people's rents going up and moving to different areas.
Yeah, I
I
was
have,
borderline on that point of actually saying that if I'd have continued on that road, I would have had to have at some point for sure, definitely have approached my employees and said, look, we're going to have
mm,
to go some sort of self-employed route here because it's
yeah,
very difficult,
definitely.
very
Definitely.
difficult.
I think if you can keep your head above water, then at that point, that's all you need to be able to do. Um,
100%.
and you've got a lot of people there that are trying to obviously have their career within your salon, but when you have to support them and you're recognizing then that the costs are rising, then there's a hell of a lot of pressure on somebody who's in an industry that isn't naturally quickly and easily qualified in knowing how to handle this professionally and properly. And from a business perspective, it's panic, it's
Mm.
being overwhelmed, it's chaos, it's letting people down because, we're people pleasers. Are we about to ruin ourselves in
Yeah,
order to help support others?
and having a business head is completely different to being a creative employed member of staff. I remember one of my employed members of staff saying to me, "Why not, I just think if you did cut and blow dries at 35, it'd just entice more people in." And I'd say, "Why on earth would I do cut and blow dries at 35 quid when we're fully booked with cut and blow dries every
Yeah,
day at 45? What are you crazy?" Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a totally different way of thinking, isn't it?
it's interesting because you both now are pretty much solo workers, aren't you?
mm,
And
Mm.
yes, we are. Yeah,
without going into sort of finances, but I
mm,
think you're both sort of saying that you almost feel you're probably earning more of a wage
we're
now.
comfortable. Yeah, yeah,
Would
Yeah,
that be
very
fair,
comfortable.
George?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. That's
yeah.
correct. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
And I,
What a shame. What a
not that
shame
we're
because
saying that because we,
yeah,
we, we want to see salon businesses and then
yeah,
Colette's just sharing, we want salon businesses because that's what brings, people through and training and the quality and we need a mixture of
but
everything.
I am
Uh,
still
uh,
doing that. So I am still employing a couple of assistants,
yeah.
and I'm still happy to
Good.
bring them from the bottom up and make really good hairdressers. I'm just done with demands
Mm,
and ego and everything else with it,
Mm.
But the
Yeah, I'm
young ones, yes.
just going to look at the comments coming in. Again, Facebook user, I'm sorry I can't see your name on here. There's a lot of salons closing, but there seems to be a fair amount opening up. Is
Mm.
that a problem too? Because I think where I may want to touch upon a little bit on this, there ain't enough people to go around to get all the applicants that we need to make these rents be able to be affordable. We need staff to pay these high overheads, don't we? For sure. If you've got one person, you're going to have to work really hard if you've got a high rent and, you're going prime location. Is it we just can't recruit enough people now? Is
Yeah,
that
I
for me?
mean,
I think that's
postcode's
why we're
always
seeing
going to be.
salons closing more than anything else. I think it's actually we cannot get the stylists anymore.
No,
I have
I
a,
agree.
I have a feeling that there's two different types of salons that are opening when this happens. So you've got a stylist or somebody who wants to manage a salon, work with big brands, create a big space, employ staff members, and they want to run a business and have a successful salon. And then, so that's one side of it. The second side, I think, is people like myself and you, Georgia, who are working in a salon. We have a clientele, we're giving a lot away to what we can see what we're earning, but we can see what we're putting through the salon till, but we can see what we're taking home. So we think we can do better than that. We're going to go and open up our own small space. So even though it feels like we're going to earn more money because we're using, we know what we earn. So we're creating a salon that is affordable for us. So we keep, the rents are lower. We might have an assistant. We might have 2 or 3 other self-employed members of staff. And then those are the salons that are also opening up, quick and fast and being successful and being busy because they're bringing their clients with them. They've already got an established clientele, and that's why they've opened a salon, because they were potentially employed somewhere else and now can see the benefit of, actually, I'd like to bring my £150 colour to my pocket rather than my hourly wage.
Is it too easy to open a salon nowadays?
I don't think I don't think any of it's easy, and I think we can't.
I disagree. I think it is easy. I think it's easy to. I think furniture's affordable now. You can be really creative with spaces. You don't need to spend a lot of money. I think there's lots of locations available now. You don't need to be on the high street anymore because social media has allowed us to be a destination, and that could be in an industrial estate.
Yeah.
So that's where I mean. I'm not dismissing that it's easy to open a salon. It's hard once you get going. I think Paul Davis, he said the first year is the easiest. It's year 3 or 4 that's the hardest, and I actually totally agree. Colette, I'm going to just go. It's great already. Good start to this. Colette, she just said here, 11,965 salons at risk of insolvency now. I know Colette wanted to share some of this. 41% of the sector are facing closure now. I mean, they're big figures, and Colette knows her stuff. You cannot change employed to self-employed. Is that right? Am I saying that right? Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. Mustafa, how you doing, Mustafa? Salon business models have barely changed in 30 plus years. Yeah, everything from the high street to our entire economic system. Where are we? Lost it. There's probably something in there. Yeah. What we got here is, again, Facebook user. I got told by my friend who works for Salon Supplies that there were 35 salons open before COVID-19. After the first lockdown, there was just over 22,000. Quite sobering. I mean, we don't want to put anybody off industry, by the way. I think having a salon business, but I think you have to think about these things, don't you? Opening a business, it isn't easy. It's not going to be a giver.
No, and you don't always know what type of business you want to open. It took me 7 years to realise. When I first opened, I took walk-ins. I wasn't appointment only. It's only after so many years I decided I wanted to be appointment only, and I wanted to run things differently, and I wanted to run things organised and properly. I think so many people can go and open a salon without. You might see your earnings, you might see your takings, and you might think, yes, I want to get a premises and I want to bring that to my pocket. But you don't necessarily know what type of salon you want to be and how you want to run it until you're in there doing it, do you?
Yeah. You need to evolve it, don't you? And
100%. And a good salon is one that's always evolving.
In my area, which there are lots of salons, I know 3 of them that still that still employ people. The rest are renter chairs. Is the employed model going to just go, or is government going to change it?
I don't think it'll go, because I think there's still going to be what are we going to do?
Do you see the shift going to employed? Do you see a shift?
I don't see a shift going to employed at all. But I do believe that there has to be employed some point, because you've got to train your assistants, you've got to employ them. You can't just say to an assistant, "Oh, come on, get self-employed." Although I do know of one assistant.
But you can't you? Not that I'm going, but you have got. I mean, effectively, you're self-employed, George. You are. You could be self-employed and actually take on an apprentice and still train them? Because I guess you're training, aren't
Yeah.
you? You're apprentice?
Yeah, but I employ my apprentice.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But you could be a self-employed hairdresser
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
of course,
within
Yeah.
a
of course, yeah.
co-working space that actually
Yeah.
has a trainee, apprentice, and still train them. So is it just the model slipping? I'm not saying that I think that these are the ways. I'm just putting it out there that as an industry, we say, well, you need to train these people, but you can
I
still
think as
train
busy
them.
stylists, I've done what George has done in the past when I was working with all textures. I had I was self-employed in a salon renting a chair, and I had my own apprentice that I trained with. That she went to college and she only worked for me. I'd share her out if I didn't need her, but she was mine, and it's because I needed the support in my column to grow, to earn, to make to fit more people in.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
needed her as the backbone of my column.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul,
And
no
that's
problem.
exactly what
That's
I
it.
need. You
Yeah, that's
can't work
exactly why you've got
you
them.
can't work
No,
7 days a week back to back without an
no,
assistant. But if you do have an assistant and you train them well, then all of a sudden you can double your money because you can fit in 3, 4 more colours without
yeah,
compromising quality.
yeah,
Angela's just going to put sync in here. And I think she's dead right. I think there are more people doing hair at home, having a space in their home and not paying the high street prices to rent.
yeah.
Now, this is interesting because, I know Callie and there's a big rise in home hair salons. But no
Mm,
longer is it just a home hair salon in a dining room. We can now have
no.
these beautiful studios in our back garden. They're quite an
Hmm.
attractive thing. Yeah, is that having an appeal to people that think actually this lifestyle part of the industry really works for me? I can work from home in my garden, in
Hmm.
a lovely looking space, because I see it and they look like beautiful salons now. They're not looking like somebody
Yeah,
working in a shed.
Yeah, and I
really
mean,
good for working parents.
and look at the money it's saving. You've got no rent, you've got no business rate, you've got, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's yeah, it's winner winner in it all round, really.
Yeah, that really
And I
is.
think they are making these spaces really attractive because at the end of the day, they're asking somebody to come to a street, a cul-de-sac, someone's home, walking through someone's garage, their hallway. Once they get to the salon space that they're going to use, it needs to be appealing. You don't want to sit them in something that doesn't look like there's been hardly any effort. And also, you can then also your fees can reflect on the environment around you as well and the investment that you've put into it. Show
Yeah.
somebody that you're serious and committed.
I don't know what neighbours think about this. I know I told you, by the way, everybody watching, we go a bit off piste here, but when you're doing home salons, there's something else you've got to think about. Your neighbours, you've got cars pulling up.
They've done a
You
leaflet dropped on. They all know what's going on.
but again, that I guess can be a creative part of our industry because it's not for everybody, and we need to get the balance right, don't we? But we are seeing. Do you all feel that we are seeing more salons closing? Yes or no? And maybe just put one comment. Why do you think it is? Is it because there's just too much competition? The overheads are too great? Recruitment? Let us know in the comments very quickly before we move on. What do you think it is, George? Whilst we wait for those comments to come in, one thing.
What?
What do you
Why?
think? Why salons may be closing,
Well,
if they are?
the sign of the times, cost of living. I
So you
think.
think it's cost of living?
Yeah, well, it's got to be money. It's got to be to do with
Uh,
money, hasn't it?
but people tell me salons are busy. Everybody keeps telling me everybody's busy.
Maybe they're
Well,
just overstretched.
some clearly aren't, are they? Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, they won't be shutting. All these people that claim to have had multi-million-pound salons or this, that, and other, right? And they no longer have these salons. Why?
Well, let's not underestimate the power of pressure and the impact that it can have on mental health as a salon owner.
Mm.
People may be running a salon for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and the effects on their family and their own mental health could just be too much that they have just called it a day.
Yeah, yeah, that could be it. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, where have you gone, Vic?
she's
I hope
gone.
I've not upset her.
Are you still there, Vicky? Has your camera just sort of gone off? It shows you've muted yourself, Vicky. So it might be worth you just signing out and coming back in, and we'll go. Well, look, I was ready to go to the next topic, George. I know this is your topic anyway. So look,
Oh, you've
there's
always
still
shot
some
me
good.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Let's just have a look at the comments. Look, I'll come back to them. There's loads. It's good. Right.
Okay.
Vicky, hopefully you could join us again, Vicky. It's it's who knows. Next topic. Right. Okay. So this one, George, tell us why you wanted to talk about this.
Okay, so all right, so just after COVID, and we all went on a bit of we hopped on the topic of working a 4-day week and shutting down on a Saturday, and it was really about our own zen and prioritizing our own mental health and workload. And we talked about closing Saturdays, and I just wondered, with the current cost of living crisis, if that was still successful for some salons. Are some salons shut on a Saturday still? Are they working a 4-day week? Or, since lockdown has gone back to a little bit of normality and everybody else has gone back into work, is there more and more requests for clients throughout the weekend? And have you stopped, putting yourself first? And have you opened your doors again for clients to come through them? That's it.
I think it's a good one. Welcome back, Vicky, by the way.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened there.
Someone rang
So-
me and then it all went to shit.
Don't worry. It's all cool. There we go. Another pound, Tony. Right. Okay. So yeah, we'll just talk about the Saturday shut down there. So I don't know. Did you pick up on what George was just saying there?
Yeah, I caught
Okay.
the last half. I presume it was the last half of it. So yeah, it's a funny one. It's never been something that's ever crossed my mind. It's always been the kind of the day for me. I had to consider recently whether I could go to Madrid in October, and it would have meant dropping a Saturday, and no, I couldn't do it. I needed that day.
Yeah, it was. I remember having the hair show, and we were talking when Jordana was here, George, and we were talking about this, weren't we? We were talking about coming out of COVID, because this is kind of we were on that back of COVID, and
It was kind of like,
it's just not as busy, and
yeah,
because
no,
people
it was
weren't
like,
going out, and suddenly people were coming in the week, and I guess consumer habits had changed, and they had
and there was
changed.
a lot of egos as well, Dom. So there was a lot of people saying, there was a lot of egos. Let's not beat around the bush. There's a lot of people. If people want my services, well, then they'll have to come in the week. Well, I wonder if you feel that way now, because I know that I just look at, yes, all right, fair enough. The party hair's gone to shit and stuff like that. People don't come in for updos. Saturday is still a very buzzing day in my salon. I've recently picked up Sundays. Clients are extremely thankful for me working Sundays. Not to mention that they're extremely financially lucrative for me, because people want to come because they've got commitments throughout the week, mainly work. So at the end of the day, what have I got to do during the week? Clean my house, so I don't mind taking a Wednesday off and working Saturday, Sunday. I can take my kids out for tea on a Wednesday night or whatever. It doesn't,
I think Colette makes a good point here as well, ladies. So she says, look, that coming from London, now offices are back. They need Saturdays, and this is the thing, isn't it? When you're working from home, we all notice it, didn't we? That clients could pop out pretty casually from home. Yeah, I'm working. And of course, they're getting their hair done. But now that more and more people are going back into the offices, is this changing? But could this have a detrimental effect on our industry? Because apprentices probably like a lot of us, like having Saturdays off, because there's a lot going on Saturdays. Your boyfriend might be off, your girlfriend may be off, and you're working. Because also we're hearing the lifestyle trend of working 4 days a week. Very nice in principle, but when you got to pay them bills.
I remember my apprentice asking me for a Saturday off, and I almost laughed at her, not in a horrible way, but I was like, what? So here's the thing, it's always been tradition that hairdressers have worked Saturday. Yes, I know that things have changed slightly or whatever, but if you really want to be a hairdresser, well, then you have to just put up with those
Yeah.
Saturdays that we work, and then that's part of it. If you don't want to work Saturdays, don't look at hairdressing as a career. That's the way that I view it.
Or don't expect that to be a money-making day, at least.
Yeah.
You know,
There is a
I feel that
specialness
I've
to the Saturday,
recognised
though,
it.
isn't there? There is a special.
Yeah, it's the best
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best day for us because it's our
Mm,
last day, right? It's
yeah,
our last day of the week. So it's more like
yeah.
the hairdressers are buzzing, like, let's get the rave
Yeah.
music on, we're going out tonight.
Let me
I'm
just bring in
done.
some comments because I'm so keen because it is everybody's show and I want them to bring in their comments. So yeah, Gemma, I flagged this up earlier. She was thinking this yesterday. I'm guessing, Gemma, you were meaning opening Saturdays. Hey Ryan, good to see you. Saturday is one of my busiest days. We only do 8:30 to 3:30. Yeah, but I would lose so many clients if I didn't work a Saturday. I think that's a really good point. I think, do you do shorter days on a Saturday?
No.
You just work 24/7, George.
Yeah. No, I don't.
How about you, Vicky?
No, I don't. I finish between 6 and 7, but I have worked in salons, self-employed, where they closed at 4, which was a bit foreign to me, really, because I was like, well, we've still got another 2-3 hours worth of colour to fit in.
Yeah, I do every Saturday night.
Yeah.
Again, Facebook users, I'm sorry I can't see your name. Put it in there. I've worked 6 days a week, every week since we were able to come back to work full time. Rachel,
And here's the thing as well, when we had this
I
idea of
alter
dropping...
my Saturdays. It works so well for me. Yeah, maybe that's an idea. You can alter your Saturdays.
Yeah, but when we had this idea of dropping Saturdays, it was at a time, right, where all the public proper needed us because they were all locked away and couldn't get their hair done. So they were desperate. Do you remember that time just after lockdown where everyone was so thankful for their hairdresser?
Yeah.
And so everyone was like, right, now all the hairdressers were like, well, I can be demanding now and I can close Saturday because my client's so desperate to see me. Well, now they're not that desperate to see us because lockdown's over and cost of living crisis is it. You know?
It feels years ago, doesn't it? All of us.
It was years ago, weren't it?
Yeah, it
Just
really
3
does.
years ago, weren't it?
It's just changed. But don't you feel we're almost sort of just going back into old habits again and things that sort of like when we were all in there, the industry was changing and fresher and I'm going to have a new work-life balance.
It was fresher because we'd all got a massive break and we're all stuck at home. We all had loads more fashion, loads more energy.
And we all had Boris's grants to live off.
Yeah.
Hey,
Gary.
I'm gonna make a difference.
We got Gary on YouTube. Hi, Gary. We only work 3 days a week, but optimizing columns Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Go on, Gaza.
Yeah.
So that's working for you, Gary? I mean, look, this is it. We're not having to go what George is saying. If it's working for you,
if it's working, God, good on you.
So again, Facebook user, I'm so sorry. I really would love to know who you are. Ecam, just grant your permission. I've worked all the bank holidays since 2. Is that good though?
Yeah, me and all Facebook users around there on a bank
But you shouldn't have to be, should you? Why are you doing that for?
Because
they're off.
Yeah,
do you like working bank holidays?
It's a spare Saturday.
yeah. I just like work. I like work. I just like it.
Gemma says we could never close Saturdays.
I like sleep, mate.
I hate Saturdays with lots of emoji laugh. We've got hey Faye, nice to have you along. People are back out now. We have not closed Saturdays. Blow dry subscriptions are the thing now. Clients love a Saturday blow dry.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I think if it can work for a salon, it can work for the clientele that's attracted to that space. A friend of mine, Joe, he works in London. He works in the city. Saturdays are his quietest day of the week because he's got the Monday to Friday office staff coming in. You know, they might be in at 11 o'clock, they might be in at 3 o'clock, but they'll sure as hell be in the evenings. And they're just working their diaries around that because, you know, they're there in St Paul's, they've got access to a decent salon, and then they're heading home, you know, into the suburbs at the weekend. They're not coming up, and they're the guys with the money.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's coming through from quite a lot of you sort of just putting your comments in again. I am a little bit behind, so apologies. Hi, Jax again. Surely we work to our clients' demands. Maybe I will take a Saturday off every couple of months. That's kind of cool, isn't it?
And that wouldn't affect
what day, so do you not have a day off then, George? Are you 7 days a week?
I mean, I have a day off when I want one. It's my business, so I can, if I feel like
I know it's your business, but
if
what
I,
about your family? Do you
no, no, no. I mean, it's my business.
where do
so
you
I
find the
have-
time for the things away from work? Because we don't live to work, do we? We do work. Is that, have I got that right way round? We want time out, don't we? We want time away from our work. We need to refresh.
This is a girl that asks her clients to bring a roast dinner.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, majority of the time, I get one. I did actually put that on Facebook today. Can anyone fetch me a roast dinner? I'll love it.
Again,
And so,
Facebook
yeah,
user.
I get to do plenty of stuff. I go out once a week. You see my kids. We have a laugh. We're going on holiday next year. I'm here with you guys. My life's fulfilled. And by the way, when I said it's my business, I didn't mean it's my business, not yours. I meant it's my
None
business.
of your
so
business, Dom.
No, I can close my business when I want to. That's what I meant.
It's
Sorry,
okay.
that
I'll take it. So look, again, Facebook, I have a Saturday off each month. Evenings get booked quicker than Saturdays, I find. Yeah, because there are lots of clients. I guess it's location as well maybe comes into this. If you're in quite a city, you're a young salon where a lot of your clients are going out on Saturday nights, and I'm guessing it's going to be busier. Maybe if you're more of a retired clientele who maybe Saturdays are not the thing, they're more flexible in the week, that's going to change. So maybe this is a lot to do with the clients that you're doing. If you've got a party crowd, then Saturdays are going to be key. If you're more the silver generation, they're more flexible.
Oh, love that silver generation.
Silver generation.
You know it.
I'm stealing it. I'm stealing it.
The silver gen. There's some good comments coming in, everybody. I love it. Keep them coming in. It's what it's all about. Our salon's been inundated with Saturday job applications, and they want to work in the summer holidays. Great to hear that, Faye. Loving that. Mustafa, I always love yours, Mustafa, but I know they're going to take up half the screen, and I try and read them. But after working Saturdays for 20 plus years, I have no need to suddenly take a Saturday off. The whole Saturday off thing comes from the 4 day a week. That came from, this is good, from office-based jobs where, if honest, most office workers probably only work 4 days, but over 5. Just my opinion. It's a good opinion. Yeah. I think
compressed hours. They work for people, and they are inspired by it. And we get. Facebook. I think the older we get, the more we can see what our peers around us are doing, and you're like, oh, I want a bit of that.
Yeah, New World Order. There's definitely. Look, great. Let me know. Are you up for a Saturday? Yes or no? Is it our busiest day of the week anymore? What is our busiest day of the week?
Saturday.
George?
Every day is as busy, but I like Saturday.
Okay, so you like Saturday. You watching? What's your busiest day in the salon? I'd love to know. that. And we'll move into the next.
I'd still say Saturdays. Yeah, Saturdays are busy. I start at
Gary,
7 on a Saturday.
I want to move on. I haven't got my clock in front of me. The battery's gone, so I'm no good on keeping a watch on time tonight, so I'm sorry. Gary just said, if most salons in towns are shut Mondays...
yes, Gary, it is, because I'm the only salon open on a Monday, and I do well.
Gary, you're on it.
Like
Gary, and he's got YouTube to himself. I think he's watching on YouTube. You see, good point, that Gary. I think that's very, very good. Get your Mondays going. I think the 4 days, Angela. What's Angela put here? I think the 4 days a week works really well. Morning, managing staff around 5 days, staff much happier. Yeah, I mean, again, it comes back to that thing: keeping your staff happy. You may be happy with it, George, working. 7 days.
I wouldn't listen. I ain't no slave driver. I wouldn't expect anyone else to work like me. I know I work abnormally. I know I don't work normal.
Yeah, no,
I think at the end of the day, you've got the ability to open up your column for however long you can, and if that means that Tuesday's just as busy as a Saturday, then Saturday's my busiest day because I can open my column from 9 till 7. I don't have school runs, I don't have school clubs to do. I don't have to cook tea. It works on a Saturday. I am more available, therefore I have 9 clients in on a Saturday because it works.
Cool. I just saw Toby in. Hi, Toby. Great to have you along. Start with what you want to earn. Make a plan of what you need to take to achieve that. Then work out how much you need to do.
100%.
Is that what it is, isn't it? Hey, Toby, that's why we need you along. You and Colette with the numbers. You keep us all in check. Right, so I've got down to busiest days. So Facebook user, Monday.
See, told you.
Ryan is a Saturday. Gemma, Friday and Saturday. Yeah, Rachel, Wednesday late night. Yeah, I used to find Wednesdays were busy for us. Busiest day, Friday and Saturday. Yeah, Wednesday again coming in on Friday for us.
Sundays are good days.
I'm only
Sundays are
concerned
good.
that
If
people
you're
are
available,
overworking.
it's just another Saturday, isn't it? If you
I
can
am
offer
only
the hours, then
concerned that the
Sundays
people
work.
no, look, go back to that, Dom. Are
Yes.
overworking for poor pricing.
Yeah, I am only concerned that people are overworking to compensate for poor prices.
What not charging enough, does that mean?
Well, I do hear what they're saying. Are we working too much because our prices aren't high enough?
Yeah.
If you work at a high level price, then you don't need to do too much. I know I had Simon Butcher come on the podcast and we talked about prices, and he was talking about people that were doing sort of £7, £9 haircuts.
Well,
and you squeeze a lot in to get. Who wants to work like that? High ticket price. Work less.
100%.
Even barbers, the skill that goes into kind of cutting, a skin fade and any kind of line work. And, I can take my 12-year-old to a barber and get him to have his skin fade, and he's sat in the chair for 30 to 40 minutes, and then they charge £15.
I guess we've got Paul Davis in the house. So Paul's here. Paul, if you agree with Paul Davis or industry charges to last, first we need to level out tax for our industry, and then we can charge what we deserve. I think there's a lot of people put their head under the sheets when you sort of mention tax, isn't there? It's always, there's a lot of people but we know that that's the only way it's going to move things forward. It's a big topic. I think we're going to do a special very soon. I know I'm going to have a chat with Colette where we're going to bring everybody together. Look, it's great. Time's moving along, so I want to get on to our next topic. By the way, everybody, we're going to be finishing. Topic 4 is going to be chosen by yourselves. Is there one topic that we could talk about that you would love us to cover on tonight? Just put #topic, and then we'll know that that's what you want us to talk about. I think I saw Raymond talking about finding apprentices. So let's see what else is going to come into that. We're going to move on to our next bit lighthearted. Let's go to it. This is so goddamn good, isn't it? Hanging out on a Sunday night,
I love
talking. It's like, I think Colette, and somebody said about this in the show previously, Vicky, George. They said it's like being in the staff room, isn't it? It's proper good. But we'll say these are all opinions, everybody. No, we're not saying anything's right or wrong.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong. It's just different opinions, isn't it?
Just different opinions. And, it's all very nice having all the glossy stuff, but let's get down to the meat on the bone. That's what a lot of us...
baby.
Deep conversation for grown-ups. This is what we need. Yeah, we need a bit of this. Okay. Is British hairdressing still relevant? So... I always pass to George but George, so just to let you all know, we have our WhatsApp group and we all sort of fire in there in the week, what topics should we talk about? And George had brought up about a show that you'd seen. Lead us on from that, Joe.
Okay, so it was...
George.
It was basically a show. There was, I think it was Presley, she's an
Presley
American
Poe.
colour. Yeah, Presley Poe, Sam Villa, and I wasn't aware of the other guy. And basically, they were on stage in America, and the energy was, just insane. And they were really, it was like it was a hairdressing show. You know what I mean? So, and I was just
An event.
I passed an event, and I passed comment to Dom, and I sort of said, aren't we just a bit boring as British? We're a bit serious. We are typically British. When we go on stage, when we talk about something, I know it's about educating others, but there's just no show. There's not an awful lot of showmanship, not like the Americans. And I was just passing comment on that.
Vicky.
Yeah, it's I think they are definitely they're so different to us, aren't they? The Americans, and they've got a much larger, and they've got a much larger audience, and there's a lot more people covering a lot of land. So we're just many more personalities and many characters, and
Yeah.
I think there is I don't know, there is an elevation to a standard of showmanship in the States, and I think, like George just said, typically British, are we just a little bit sit back and just tut and sigh and roll our eyes and
But do you know what? I'm gonna jump in on this.
A lot of
Okay.
people would say it's tacky. A lot of people would say that showmanship is
I think the
tacky.
English would say it's tacky.
Yes, the English would say it's tacky, whereas I'm like, yeah, man, this is. I mean,
It's
yeah, it's
fun.
tacky. It's tacky, but
Yeah,
I'm tapping my foot.
bring
I'm
it.
interested. I'm
Yeah,
engaged.
Right.
I'm
you're
I'm
entertained,
I'm
entertained.
aren't
gonna
you?
say something here that you're saying, are we a bit safe? Now we're an industry that has brought. Okay, so let's go back over the past. So let's just talk about the Robert Labetta for starters. Let's talk about the. If you look at the history, British hairdressing has led the way. I think
Absolutely, no, I agree.
in terms of, look at Sassoon, which Vidal Sassoon, Tony and Guy, Trevor Sorby, just massive names, beasts that have come out of the industry and gone to America, and just like everybody's fallen in love with British hairdressing. However, I worry that we're living in the past
Yeah,
of
it led
this
the way. We ain't leading now.
because,
Did we create the rule book?
yeah, I think that's a really good point. But the reason we created the rule book is because we weren't seeing what was going on globally, because we weren't connected to the rest of the world. So we had an arrogance that America was all the big daddy's blow dries, and it was tacky, and it was and Canada and all these other remote places around the world were just doing things a bit, And suddenly social media exploded, created by pretty much the American culture. American hair culture suddenly landed in front of all of us, harebrained, behind the chair. Bang. Suddenly we had hair dressers that had, like, they were rock stars. They are like rock stars in America, some of these. And I have to
Yeah.
say, I look at a lot of the work that comes out of Hairbrained, a community, by the way, if you don't know of Hairbrained, it's proper edgy and it's cool. And then you've got the awards, the one shot behind the chair. So many UK hairdressers now enter into that. Have you entered
Yeah,
into it?
It's
yeah.
accessible creativity, isn't it? And
Is that
it's
Yeah, yeah.
they're giving us a chance to think, oh, we could do that,
Yeah, and I think it's
And
just, go on, Vicky, sorry.
no, I was just going to say, kind of what we've been exposed to in the UK when it comes to seeing the creativity within hairdressing and fashion over the years is, do we talk about the BAFTAs red carpet, or do we talk about the Oscars red carpet? And that's what we're getting exposed to. That was what was making front covers, and then they're running with it, and then we're a little bit more inspired by what they're doing there, and we're not hearing so much about what's happening here because we're inspired by the bright lights and the glitz of what we're seeing on across the water. And now that's kind of filtering down to the hairdressing industry, access through social media. It still comes across as exciting. They may have more money to throw
I
at it than
just
us. Who
think,
Do you know,
knows?
because you
last
have the North American Hairdressing Awards, right, which is still very like our British Hairdressing Awards. But I just get the impression that people are more excited now by taking a raw image from your salon, a cool mullet, and it looks proper edgy. It looks really current to me. And I just feel that we have got to, I feel like we are catching up with America now. I don't feel we're leading the way. Maybe our arrogance maybe makes us think we're better. But look at all the mullet cuts. Look at all the wolf cuts. All these trends are being created by American hairstylists now, where you would have said years ago it was being created by the
the
British,
British.
but we're not doing that anymore.
Do you know, last
Sorry,
year I went to a
but I
very
want us to.
big. I went to a big trade show, the biggest one, happens in October, and I remember I can't remember the company that had it, but from a certain company at that trade show, they had pumping music, and they had like some Italian or some American stylists that were just out front of whatever they were selling, like chopping away, like dancing to the music. And I remember every single day going to that trade show and hearing that music, and every single time turning around and seeing this huge crowd of people. Everyone was like clapping their hands, like raving. It was just so much fun. And I thought, actually, that's perhaps what we are lacking a little bit of, is the actual fun element of.
So when you say fun there, George, because people turn their nose up, I'm going to bring us right back to the hair show. So when we done the hair show Unleashed, which was, I know many of you that are watching came along to that night, it was fantastic. If I say so myself, but it was fun because it was a party. It was entertaining. It was not taking ourselves too seriously. But there was still a big part of the industry that turned their nose up at it because they didn't see that as representing the industry in the right way.
And then that's where I'm going to say that we are just too typically British, then, aren't I?
Do we need to change it then? Do we need to? So when you look at Colour World, I think Colour World's cool. It's edgy, isn't it?
Well, I think look at what's selling. Look at what people want. Look at what's getting more media attention. Look at what's getting an audience. If these said shows or these said whatever is getting the audience, then fair enough, they're doing something right. But if you are not getting an audience, if it's not what it used to be, if every single time you go into these events and you're saying, oh, it was better 10 years ago, it was better, 12 years ago, it just shows that we're not actually getting the audience that we need. Doesn't it?
I agree. And if we're talking, because this kind of lends itself all back to where the whole conversation comes, bringing people into the industry, getting them excited. You've got to get a young generation now who are watching everything on social. And that's short form.
Got to get them excited, yeah.
They've got to get excited.
Do you think we're focusing so much on the quality of the work, the professionalism, the dedication to the detail, the structure, the shape, then actually we're forgetting the fun behind and the inspiration we're trying to give others? And are the guys that are playing banging music, dancing around, is their work great to look at, fun, bright colours, but actually did they not focus so much on section? Let's just whack this off, let's bang that fringe in, let's shake it about, let's just slice that bit out because it looks fun. The quality of the work might not be typically perfect, but actually we've just had a 15-minute session watching these guys having a great time. They've inspired us, we're feeling great. Who cares if that was slightly off balance?
Does that inspire you? And I'll ask that to all of you watching, but I'll ask obviously yourself, Vikki, George. Does that inspire you when you watch something like that? Being totally honest, or do you like the more methodical way of learning and teaching?
If I'm going for education, I like the methodical way of being taught. If I am going to see a show, I want to see
entertain me
or a show woman entertain me. Entertainment and make it
like what we said a long time. So it should be hairtainment.
I think so.
Hairtainment. Now that is tacky beyond another level, Dom.
Or would it be entertainment?
We used it already. We use it. Hairtainment. Yeah. But I totally agree. Look, there is a place for the methodical. I love, so on platform from How to Cut It, Mustafa done a haircut. It was methodical, but it was beautiful. It was tastefully done. The structure, it was great. But in short form and shows, I think we have to start being edgy. Come on, it's what Brits should do.
Agree.
Punk,
exactly.
British punk. And I feel like we're seeing it. And I'm saying this because I'm pro-British, Irish hair scene for me. That's what this is about. And I'm looking at maybe a new guard that's coming through that's proper exciting.
Maybe we just need a bit of mayhem and chaos, don't we? And just have some fun.
We've got to be inventive, everybody. So what do you all think? Do you think are we so Gary, what did you put? The fun of How to Cut It Unleashed or a boring hair show? Totally, Gaz. Honestly, it was absolutely fantastic, and we are bubbling away. I make no lie about it. But where do you all feel on this? Are you very? Is British hairdressing still leading the way?
You can't knock British hairdressing because it is wonderful. Do you know what I mean? We have some absolutely amazing hairdressers.
I think it's got stayed. I think it's got stayed. I think it is.
Excite me.
Because the media, we're too focused on too many of these good. They're the same kind of names, and they're brilliant. I respect them. They're amazing. They're mentors. These are people at the top of the game. But we've got to start being a bit more inventive with that to get it
Is
right.
100%.
our most creative event in the hairdressing calendar actually what happens on the Saturday night that's happening during the trade show every October? Is that actually the peak of how we can entertain other hairdressers? Do you have to go to somewhere like the Albert Hall to watch that show? And is that literally the limit of our entertainment?
Yeah, I mean, I
You
think
know,
the alternative hair show, I would say, is absolutely great because it is for a wonderful cause. And I think Salon
yeah,
International is fabulous because it brings everybody together. I think, but
yeah,
it's what's built around that. For me, it should be a
mm,
hair festival week. It should be a
yeah,
weekend or lots of, it shouldn't be just one having it to themselves. It should be distributed, and it should be having
yeah,
pop-ups in lots of bars and different groups coming
100%.
together.
Yeah,
yeah,
Do you
100%.
know
I'm
what I
with
mean?
you on
And
that.
so at
yeah,
night, so we do our Salon International, which is just a fabulous
mm,
thing. And I think, Jane and the
yeah,
team are doing a wonderful job. But what could we be building around Salon International? We've seen Noise, we've seen Tribute, we had the hair show, and we can be building stuff around this. It shouldn't be owned by one. There are so many groups and federations and trusts that we should be all having an opportunity to showcase and being creative in what
So,
we do.
Vic, we better practice our dance moves for our slot
yeah,
on stage at Sol
yeah.
International, haven't we, babes?
I,
Because it's
I
going
def
down. It's going down.
Yeah, somebody said, is Hair Club Live still running open chair? Yes, they are. Yeah, it is an amazing show. And I think, again, we brought that into UK, and we kind of came up with the open chair night because
Yeah,
we
that
saw
was
that.
cool. That was
And
your idea
I
was
know
so
you
cool
performed
there,
at
Dom.
it, but I got inspired by open chair in America, Scissor Candy. And then we put our own format on it with Nikki Pope when she came on board with Hair Club Live. And, we kind of put our spin on open chair night, and absolutely brilliant. And I think that's what we want to do. And I think there is places for this and entertainment and proper gritty, edgy, vibe. I mean, that's, what's this, Ryan? On the topic of Salon International, who's going this year? I'll be going. Yep.
I'll be
We'll
there.
have a hang. Hopefully, we
with
might have something
with
that we
her.
can share with you all soon that you can do. That's good. Donna, she adores British hairdressing. Look, I appreciate time's going on a little bit. So
Last topic.
last
Yeah.
topic, yeah,
Hit
because you
us,
want your
hit
dinner.
us.
I want my dinner too. Let's organise one. Right, honestly, let's organise one. We absolutely will, Ryan. We've got some very exciting things. I think hopefully we're talking about, and I keep talking about it all the time, but it takes a lot of energy and effort to put on these shows. Believe me, so it's got to be right, and we've all got to get behind it.
I just noticed quickly about somebody mentioning about competitions, and I think I think it would be lovely to have more competitions, even small, medium, large award ceremonies, an online entry. I think if we could showcase and appeal to people that think, oh, I could win something here, and it not feel so intimidating as something as big as Hairdresser or the Salon Awards, for people to be able to push themselves a little bit more and make not just our industry, but also their clients as well aware of what they're capable of, and create
Yeah.
the fun around that.
100%. Look, this is what we're going to try and be building in platform from How to Cut It. We are going to be building something really cool and special out of this. And this is competitions, shows, live event. It's all going to be padded into all of what we are talking. And the hair show is going to be fitting nicely into all of this. So, yeah, and Colette said, I think competition floor is absolutely a big
On
thing.
the floor competition.
Come on,
yeah.
quickly. Topics for last one. I know Colette's coming with that. To be honest, I think the VAT and all that's quite heavy. And I think probably for the last topic, I want something a little bit light. All right? Think we could just talk around for 5 minutes. Colette, you're going to come back on for, again, jump into the seat, and we can go into those bigger topics. Because, come on, give us a topic, everybody. Light, fluffy.
Angel Delight.
So, okay, 20-second delay. So let's just see. Whilst I wait for those to come through, Donna, who's Australia, again, platform member. Donna, great to see you here. Colour World could do a funky, cool vibe in competitive shows. Yeah, absolutely. Here, a Facebook user should be Salon International after parties organised. Exactly. This is what we really done, wasn't it, George, with the hair show? It was
Good.
right. So hopefully we're caught up. Thank you, Colette. Platform is late. Honestly, going to mention it, Meg, because we are officially going live with Platform, and I'm so excited where this is going to go. Come on, give us one topic. Is there a topic? If not, we'll just round it up. Is there going to be a topic from anybody?
Someone's bringing in Stop Ageism.
Yeah, I like that from Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that, Gary.
Okay, yeah, Colette just came in. Yeah, who thinks How to Cut It needs a roadshow? Yes, we're going to come on to that on another one, definitely, for sure.
If George isn't driving, I'm involved.
Okay, right, let's go. Is you driving that good? Right, okay. Let's go to it. Last topic. So we got about 5 minutes. All right. So last topic. We're going to bring Gary's back up. Gary, certainly as you're on YouTube as well, at How to Cut It. Stop ageism in hairdressing competitions. Gary, you can add a bit more to that comment in a minute, but I'm going to let the girls go from where they
your
see
age,
that.
Gary.
And are you a qualified
where
hairdresser?
do you think Gary's going on that one, Vicky? What's your thoughts on this?
So I suppose it could just basically be around obviously, and the entrants are obviously submitting their images, so they're submitting their age, potentially location, and are they being judged because they might not be as current? Are we not expecting future better work from that person? Are they copying other images because they've been working more of a basic industry? Are they being judged on these kind of facts or presumptions when actually I'm 37 and I'm going to be 67 in 30 years and I'm still hoping to be knocking out some current modern work, and I wouldn't want to be judged on that based on my age. And if that's kind of where it's going, and if Gary in particular is considered,
like that,
if he feels he's on a bit of a back foot, but does he feel that it's been down to his age that he's been less successful in certain entries, then that it could be something to kind of look into and make sure it's been considered. They are very experienced stylists.
Yeah, George, how old are you, George? If you don't mind me asking, I think you've said on the hair show before.
How old I am. I think I'm 36.
So you're both similar sort of age. Both
I'm
looking
36.
good, by the way. Yeah, but you look at you, both very cool, very happening. Do you feel yourself though, George? Do you feel a pressure of keeping current and keeping up with a new guard of like youth and the energy? There's a sort of the younger sort of 20s coming through. Does that feel threatening to you?
No, no. I don't. I think that like the way that I get a lot of alternative folk anyway. I get a lot of people in the 20s. It's the way I branded myself. What would intimidate me more than a young 20-year-old beautiful person or whatever, or alternative person, would be an absolute bitch of a 50-year-old Karen. That would intimidate me more than somebody who said I wanted a psychedelic neon mullet. No problem.
Yeah.
So I suppose no. But I'd say I'm quite trendy. I don't know. Like sometimes I say things and my kids laugh at me like I'm not down with the kids or whatever. But I'd say I'm pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
So I asked my 7-year-old the other day, "What do you mean? What do you mean he yeets it across the room?" And my 7-year-old's like, "That means he just threw it." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I didn't know that." I could, I could do a lovely haircut.
So you can't enter under 25 competitions, okay, and that's fine because you need
to.
Yeah, but my thing about
but there are other
right,
categories.
I had a conversation with Chris
up.
Moody, and we were talking about getting more people back into hairdressing. Sorry, we're going a bit off piece, but it's a good thing about age. As a nation, we're getting older. That's fact, okay, and there's such a pool of the word older. Wow. That's just insulting, isn't it? More seasoned pro, okay, who are current. We should be looking at pulling this pool of seasoned pro hair professionals back into the industry now. I know many who are 60, look absolutely fantastic. 65, look amazing. Current. Where is competitions that maybe pull them in and giving them place? Not just the experience and, winning the prestigious competitions. We should be offering something for a more mature pool of people,
Yeah, and
because
I
they could be
completely
filling
agree.
spaces in our empty shops. And let's say, look, get them in, and they may be not going to go through a whole 2-year training plan, but you may just think, look, come back in, we're going to train you for 3 months, we're going to refresh you, and it could be a really good thing. I think we've got to be pulling in a more mature generation into our industry for sure. And if we could do this through competitions, that's got to be good.
Yeah,
But are we
absolutely.
actually are we turning down? I mean, are we turning them down at the door? Are we not giving them the chance to show us what they're capable of? Because any person that would come to me and ask for a job or want to work with me, and they provided the work and the standard that we required and needed, would their age really come into it? Am I
No, it
wanting
wouldn't.
somebody
It
to be
wouldn't for
with me for
me.
20 years? No, I'm wanting somebody
But
right
people may
here,
not
right
want to
now.
pay the you have to pay more, don't you, for somebody over 19 as a trainee?
Yeah,
Is
but
that right?
I'm listen. I'm looking at employing
I'm not
an
doing
assistant
that.
who's no. That's a load of bullshit.
Yeah, but people
I
do.
no. I'm actually looking to employ, if she does well on a trial tomorrow, a 22-year-old assistant. That doesn't
Good.
bother me. If you've got good
Absolutely.
work
Pay
ethic
more
and you've
money.
got
Get them in.
potential,
Stop being tight.
I'm
Get your
not being
prices up
tight.
if you're being that tight. Come on. There's so many people. Stop pulling in
Yeah.
everybody because they just look super sexy and they're wearing beautiful hats and they're got an image that just fits.
Style over
Right.
substance, basically.
It
isn't it?
is. Honestly, I'm so look. I'm as an older guy myself. I'm
Just to let you know, Dom, I would
Mum, there's
employ
still
you
hope
in
for
a
you, Mum.
heartbeat. I'd employ you in a heartbeat in my salon, mate.
I'll tell you what, I'm good.
I know you are.
Well,
Good. Yeah, good. But I tell you what's good. Actually, it makes us good seasoned pros because you've got live substance behind you, conversation. You've got you can have a deeper conversation with your clients. I'm not saying this about younger people, but age does give you these things where you're more sensitive to things, and I think people open up in a much more trusting way. I mean, I had somebody the other day,
Yeah.
I was doing their hair, they opened up in a conversation I hadn't told anybody, but they felt trust in me because I wasn't standing there going, you going on holiday? And
Yeah.
because I don't want to talk about holidays. In truth, you have a small talk, but that's what age gives you. Age is beautiful. I can't hear them, but age is beautiful. No, come on.
I totally get that. And the conversations I have with my clients, they are, really meaningful. They're in depth. They're interesting. Not, nice but thick people that I deal with. They've all got a lot of substance to them, which is great. It makes my job more exciting.
Wendy's
Life
just put there.
experience.
She's just put define old. At what age are you old? I think that's
Ask,
a great
ask
point.
the youth.
We're older every day, Wendy, aren't we?
I think it's a mentality, but actually, the one thing I would say to that, Wendy, actually, most hair professionals that I know are very young in outlook, and that actually keeps you youthful regardless. I mean, my mum, I keep coming back to my mum, she still does hair, and she's still super youthful. Because the energy of the industry is so youthful. So that combination keeps great, doesn't it? So I don't think there is an old, but I think we become more seasoned is what I would say, and that becomes with time. So once you get to about 35, you're old.
I knew it.
That's it.
I think if you choose to stay current with kind of trends and fashion, then you are going to continue moving. You're just going to continue moving forward.
Yeah, just keep on top of the aesthetics, people. Nobody will ever know your age if you just do what I do.
Well, do you want to see?
Yeah.
I tell you what, sometimes I do feel like that, Jax, of actually doing a haircut. Look, I'm not of
I'd
any
love
award
to
in.
see you do.
I do really good short haircuts. That's my thing. I love a short haircut. I love it like yours.
Me
George.
too.
I do.
I love a short haircut.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Gary, you must be getting older yourself because looking at that comment, you ain't seen the screen too well. But I'm gonna take that, my friend. What else we got? Then the government should give hairdressers a job to train, not school teachers. Age is like a fine wine. Yeah. Colette, I've never met an old hairdresser, all young at heart. Yeah, I'm doomed. Yeah, look, honestly, it's great. Where else? I will keep scrolling down. Look, great. It's cool. It's cool. I'm watching the numbers. Most of you are just hanging out with us all night, which is really, really good. Great. Love the Sunday night. So, yeah, great topics. I like that.
Thanks a lot,
It's been
guys.
good. Yeah, lots of input. It's been great.
It is really good. So, what we got coming up from you two for the week ahead? George.
Well, what do you think, Dom? I'm working.
No. I see you're
My
launching an
answer's gonna be much
education
better,
course,
Dom.
Georgia Bell.
I am. I'm doing some cutting education, basically taking the stress out of the scissors. I'm going to be doing it on Sunday, the 24th of September. One demo, one model with long hair, and showcasing how you can create 3 different haircuts just with a few easy tips and sections and stuff like
Nice.
that. So yeah.
Can you come
Nice,
on
mate.
platform
Like
and
it.
do something for us as well, George? I'd love you to come and do a platform sessions. Would that be all right? 'Cause
Yeah,
I know you're a
I'll
member.
sort something out for you for sure.
Would like that. Sounds great. I'm glad to hear you're back on the education.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Great
looking
stuff.
forward to that, mate. I might try and see if I can swing by and
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet
Can
your
people
hair
still
up
book for
there.
that, George? Is that still open for
Yeah.
people to attend? How do
Yeah,
they do that? 'Cause
people. I've had a few bookings come through today, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, there's 15
Great.
spaces available,
Great.
so I think
Great,
there's
mate.
quite a lot.
Nice.
So yeah.
but you must be under 25 to
Sweet.
attend.
No, absolutely
Yes.
not. You can be any age. But yeah, that is something I do want to start doing more of. I do want to be doing, a good bit of education next year. So I'm just dipping my feet back
Good.
in and get back
Good
into
to hear,
it back
George.
end of this year.
I'm
Nice.
loving it. I think you're loving
Good.
hairdressing more than ever at the moment.
I really am.
I think
Yeah.
so too.
Do you get that,
I feel like
Vicky?
she's woken up, hasn't she?
She
She's
has.
put the wine
She's now
bottle down.
teetotal.
She's
It's all
put
that.
the tax man down.
Georgia Bell is
Another
on
line.
fire. She
Yeah,
is on fire.
absolutely.
Vicky, with courses, you are doing lots of education, aren't you?
Yes. So I've got day 2, the last day tomorrow of my 2-day course with a couple of students. It was actually a really lovely day today. So day 2 tomorrow. I'm throwing them in with 2 models each so that they can really get hands-on and get a variety of textures and experience and different ways of finishing and styling. And they've both travelled from Wales, so a bit of a journey for them. And then on Saturday, I'm going to Orlando.
Oh.
Holiday?
Yeah, so me,
Nice.
my girlfriend, and the 3 kids, we are off to the lava hot Orlando. We're going to Disney and Universal, and I am on the lookout for Princess Jasmine. I'm just saying. And but no, we've got a stacked holiday plan. We're excited, and first big holiday after the coronavirus. So
Good. Well, you go and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, look, ladies, it's
Yeah.
girl on curl. Is that the
girl on curl.
girl
Yes.
on curl?
Don't get it wrong. It is not girl on girl.
Well, you know that. You know it.
Not
I'm
in the
sure
salon
you may have
anyway.
been inspired somewhere along the lines. We love a bit of naughtiness with that name. That's a girl on curl. It's so easy to say, isn't it?
It
when
is
you
a
do
good
So
that?
name,
easy
innit?
to say.
It's such a
It
good
is
name.
such
Like,
a
even
good
my
name.
clients, when I say, they're like, "Oh, it's a
Girl
great
on
name."
curl.
Like,
Yeah.
It's quality. Very, very clever. Yeah, look, thank you so much, George. Thank you, Vicky. It's been a pleasure, as
No,
always, hanging
It's
out
been
with you
good.
both.
Thank
So,
you for having me.
Thank
go
you.
and hang
Thank you
in
for having
the
me.
green room. I'll go and say goodbye. Put your mutes on. And yeah, I'll come and say farewell before you sign out. And go and have your dinner, George. But wait for 2 minutes, all right? So,
I'll speak to you in a bit.
see you in a
Thanks a lot,
moment.
guys.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we go. Great stuff. Lots. Did we cover lots there tonight? I like the idea of the last conversation. I think that's really good, and it's so good to see so many of you staying with us. Great, really enjoyable. Hanging out Sunday nights. What could be better? You know what I mean? It's just good, isn't it? Just talking away. And thank you for the lovely comments coming in. We really appreciate you all. I promise you, I never say these things without ever not being false about this, but generally I do love hanging out with you all. I love the show. Thank you, Pauline. Great show. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Rachel. All got our platform members here. So good to see. Thank you, everyone. There's George in the green room. Thank you, guys. Thank you, always fabulous. Yeah, thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Facebook user. Remember to grant Ecamm permission. Thank you, great show. Ryan, great as always to have you along. Thank guys. Always look forward to the show. Yeah, we always look forward to bringing you these. Donna, great show. Hello, Monday. Yeah, love the Sundays. Brilliant. Thanks. Yeah, that's why we do it. That is exactly why we bring you this show, because it's enjoyable, isn't it? We just like having a little chat. So we are now doing these on Sunday nights. We kind of follow Andrew Dunn's Sunday service, 8 o'clock. You can tune in on the YouTube channel at How to Cut It. You can tune in probably where you're watching it, wherever you're watching it, Facebook group. And my profile. I think we did go into LinkedIn, but there was a streaming error I saw flash up on my screen. So clearly we'll not LinkedIn on the head. But yeah, we'll be back again in 2 weeks. And I just want to let you all know, yeah, I keep mentioning platform. On Wednesday, we are officially opening the doors to platform. This is a community social media group, all brings everything together. And it's run by us as hair professionals. Yes, we are asking people to pay for this because it's premium, but we believe by paying into Sync, it just rules out the people that are just there for spamming. We want this to really grow up into live events, community, connection. I already know with our beta crew who have been on there are already having connections. I know one of our members, who won't mind me saying, he's already been booked to go to Ireland to do some cutting courses just by being on platform. So on Wednesday night, I'm going to be doing a live into the How to Cut It community. This is when we're going to open it officially. It's going to be, I think it is, I can't remember the price exactly. It's about £50 for the year. We're keeping it low entry price, but we believe that it needs to have a value. I'm going to tell you all about it, how it's going to work. And if you're interested, come and join me Wednesday night, late, about 8:15, and we'll walk you all through it. But more importantly, we're going to be back again in 2 weeks with the hair show. So thank you, everybody, hanging out. Have a great week ahead. Go safe. And until next time, peace, love, and smiles all the way. Goodbye.